In India's trains, 5 murders in just 25 days. You'd expect a powerful gangster behind it, right? Wrong. The man police were hunting could barely walk. People saw him limping, assumed he was disabled, helpless, and some probably tried to help. That helpless look was his mask. After every murder, he hid behind it and slipped away. This is the story of one of India's strangest, most terrifying railway serial killers, and the confessions that shook investigators to the core. I'm Muse, and today we're diving into the railway handicapped serial killer. November 14th, 2024, Valsad district, Gujarat. 19-year-old Kushi, a student at J.P. Pardawala College of Arts and Commerce, was walking home near Udvada railway station. Her house was barely 200 meters from the station. She never made it back. When she didn't arrive by late evening, her family called, out of coverage. Panic set in. Her elder sister Tripti started calling friends. One of them said, "I was on the phone with her." Suddenly a strange man's voice cut in, and the call dropped. Tripti and friends began searching. On the lane that passes a small mango orchard, they found one of Kushi's sandals. Then, inside the orchard, Kushi, unconscious. She was rushed to hospital. Doctors declared her dead. Initially, police treated it as an accidental death, but the post-mortem flipped the case on its head. Sexual assault, then strangulation. This wasn't an accident. It was murder. At the scene, police recovered a black and white sweatshirt and a black bag containing 3 jerseys, 2 shorts, and a phone charger. One detail stood out. The kit screamed traveler, a drifter who lived between trains. Investigators started pulling CCTV from Udvada and nearby stations. Within days, they hit something big. Vapi station footage showed a man wearing the same sweatshirt and carrying the same bag found near the body. And then, the twist. He limped, clearly physically handicapped, dragging one leg. Suddenly, the profile changed. A predator weaponizing disability as camouflage. But they only had a face from grainy footage. No name, no address. Valsad SP Karan Raj Singh Vaghela escalated the case to top priority, forming 10 dedicated teams. Over the next days, they scraped through 2,000 to 5,000 CCTV clips from Gujarat to Mumbai. The same man kept popping up, same bag, same limp, but always moving, never staying in one city long enough to pin down. Police pushed his image through stations and jails across Gujarat. No match. So they went wider. India's centralized national database of offenders. Breakthrough. A facial match to a former inmate from Jodhpur jail, Rahul Karamveer Jat, aka Bolu, Haryana's Rohtak native. Family told police he'd been stealing since childhood, in and out of jail, recently released in a theft case, then thrown out of the house. This wasn't a random traveler. This was a seasoned criminal who had turned India's railway network into his hunting ground. CCTV now tracked Rahul across Mumbai, Shirdi, and Andhra Pradesh, constantly on trains, constantly moving. The fear inside the task force was simple. He's active. Every day they lost could mean another victim. 10 days after Kushi's murder, November 24th, 2024, an unexpected break. A hawker, informer at Bandra station, called in a tip. A handicapped man, exactly like the circulated photo, just boarded a train toward Vapi, likely in the disabled coach. A trap was set at Vapi. Officers were posted at every platform, eyes locked on the disability coach he always used. The moment the train braked, the team stormed the coach and took him down. 10 relentless days, thousands of frames, 1 arrest. You'd think the story ends here. It doesn't. This is where it peaks. In custody, Rahul spoke coldly, without emotion. Not just this one. In 25 days, I committed 5 murders. Murder number 1, October 20. On a Pune-Kanyakumari train, he targeted a young woman, assaulted her, then strangled her. He took her belongings and slipped off like nothing had happened. Murder number 2, October 25. Just 5 days later, on a Bengaluru-Murudeshwar train, a young man told him not to smoke a bidi. Rahul stabbed him to death. Investigators called it proof of his irrational, violent impulsivity. Murder number 3, November 14th. He assaulted and killed Kushi near Udvada. In the chaos, he abandoned his bag, which later gave police their first real thread. Murder number 4, November 19. He broke into the home of 60-year-old tabla teacher, Sumitra Chatterjee. He stabbed repeatedly until the victim died, then fled with belongings and 10,000 rupees cash. Murder number 5, November 24, hours before arrest. Rahul claimed he had just killed a 21-year-old woman. The same day police nabbed him in Vapi. Investigators were stunned. How did a limping man execute a spree across states, using trains as corridors, coaches as cover, and disability as a mask? When asked why, Rahul's answer was as chilling as his acts. I wanted to drive trucks as a kid. Polio made me limp. In school, people mocked me. I turned to theft. On trains, lone travelers looked like easy targets. I stole. If anyone resisted, I killed. No vendetta, no ideology, just anger, opportunity, and a learned habit of violence. Multiple IPC sections, rape, murder, robbery, were slapped on him. The court sent him to police remand. If the charges stick, he's staring at life imprisonment or death. Rahul, a man society would instinctively pity, turned his perceived weakness into a weapon. That illusion made him invisible in crowds, and even when seen, underestimated. His spree forces a hard truth. Even in packed Indian trains, places we assume are safe, we can be dangerously vulnerable. Late-night coaches, isolated compartments, reserved for disabled coaches used as blind spots. He exploited every gap in awareness and security. This isn't just a crime story. It's a reminder. Stay alert in and around stations and trains. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Report suspicious behavior, especially in disability coaches, where fewer people intervene. What punishment do you think fits a killer like Rahul Bholu? Tell me in the comments. If this story shook you, and you want more real crime breakdowns to stay sharp, subscribe. I bring you verified, deeply researched cases regularly. Got a case you want me to investigate? Email me your lead. If it checks out, I'll do a full documentary on it. And if you want to know how a man who once rattled American politics and the mafia vanished into thin air, the Jimmy Hoffa deep dive is on screen now and linked in the description. I'll see you there.